process which is adopted here in Senapati district is, once the returnees return to the state of Manipur, we bring them to Senapati district headquarters and keep them under institutional quarantine. And then their samples are collected and they are tested for COVID-19. Once they test negative, they are dispatched off for either home quarantine or community quarantine. Although the protocol of the state allows for home quarantine, most of the villages in the district, they are not very comfortable with the returnees returning straight to their homes, because in most cases they return to their villages within a matter of 3 or 4 days. So they have adopted a system of community quarantine, which is in a way like the second level of defense against the COVID-19.
Yumda quarantine tauge habdi aikoi chingi misu wani adugini na separate oina quarantine center haina adum sembana haga jara haina aigi wakhada lebni haina isto adarshana aingumda suggestion piba adu oi aduna phaini haina ai authority khoida meeting tawara wari tanaraga April 3 da ikona sabni ikoi saba mi jataru gumba yumdu sabimne adu sida quarantine da leiraga kamaina leigira hamti khunna su chain gumba dal gumba insang gumba kra putuba tare adu natna aduga yum ipa imana su kra thoroga adu quarantine da leiba mi kra yengba tare hena iko chotina jung tanamne.
We have got a COVID-19 task force from our village itself. So when they arrive, that COVID-19 task force, they are in Senapati. They came and pick them up, and they drop them in Senapati transit center. So after testing negative, we from village itself, we arrange a vehicle and we pick them up and we drop here.
I came from Pondicherry. I was in Chennai for 45 days maybe. I'm not sure about the number of days, but I was there for almost 1.5 months, and then government of Manipur has arranged a train, and I was one of the first passenger in that train. And then I reached Jiribam. The buses were provided from there to reach Senapati and were taken there. The 28 days here in the quarantine center was a good experience actually. Mentally, physically, it was a good experience. So I should say there was no challenges, but there was a lot of learning. Coming to the second point, there was a little, initially we talk about the stigmatization of this COVID thing. People here in the village, they were scared of people coming from abroad, whether it will be, spread in the village and stuff like that. But like I said before, the facility set up here was, it was good, and 28 days was, it was given 14 days, but we were here for 28 days. So I think there was nothing much to be scared. And when we reached the village, people were not scared of us anymore. And then there was no stigmatization, there was nothing. So I think it was a good experience from my side as an individual here in the quarantine center, and the village people were very cooperative after we joined the village. So that was the experience I had here in the quarantine center.
In this community quarantine center here, I would like to thank our minister, our local MLA, also Dikho, for helping us financially and materially while we are doing this, construct this quarantine center. And also all the villagers in our village for in a rotation basis with quarantine center doing all this, mask, glove, and also we volunteers ourselves and construct all this quarantine center. At present here now we have 13 inmates are here. Earlier that all together we have 67 inmates. Out of 67 now we have 13 of them.
The community quarantine centers are headed by a committee chaired by the local MLA, in which one of the SDOs is kept as the convener of the committee, and social activists, public leaders, civil society organizations, the police, medical teams, they are part of this committee. This committee for each assembly constituency looks after the management and supervise all the activities which is being taken up by the different village authorities under the constituencies.
Go,